Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself waking up suddenly between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.? You check the clock, sigh, and try to go back to sleep, but something feels different. The silence is deeper. The air feels charged. The heart is restless. Could it be just a coincidence? Or is there something greater at work? There is something deeply mysterious about waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. It feels different from any other time of the night. The world is silent, the air is still, and everything around you seems to hold an unusual weight. You might think it's just another restless night, but what if it's something more? What if this moment is significant, not just physically, but spiritually? Throughout history, these early hours have carried an undeniable power. In ancient times, this period was known as the fourth watch, the last division of the night before dawn. It was during this watch that great events unfolded, divine encounters, supernatural interventions, and powerful revelations. Biblical accounts tell of miracles happening in these very hours. Jesus walked on water during the fourth watch. Jacob wrestled with God until daybreak. The walls of Jericho fell as the people of Israel moved in obedience. It is a time when heaven seems to draw closer to the earth, when the natural and supernatural converge. Many believe that between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., the spiritual realm is most active. Some call it the witching hour, but this is a misunderstanding. It is not merely a time of darkness, but also a time when divine messages are whispered, when hearts are stirred, and when destinies are shaped. Have you ever woken up at this hour with a sudden burden on your heart, an unexplained sense of urgency, or a feeling that you are not alone? Perhaps you have sensed a presence, a nudge, or a calling. This is not your mind playing tricks on you. It is an invitation, an open doorway into something greater. In these hours, the world is quiet, distractions are few, and your spirit is more sensitive than ever. It is the perfect time for revelation. The thoughts that come to you may not be random. They may be answers you have been seeking, guidance you have been needing, or warnings you must heed. Your soul is awake for a reason. Those who have embraced this mystery, prophets, visionaries, and seekers throughout history have often received their most profound insights in these silent moments. But there is another side to this time, a battle happening beyond what our eyes can see. Just as light moves, so does darkness. This is the hour when forces of opposition try to disturb, confuse, or weaken those who are meant to rise. If you have ever woken up feeling fearful, burdened, or restless, it may not be mere coincidence. It may be a sign that you are being called to stand, to pray, to fight for something beyond yourself. Waking up at this hour is not something to be ignored. It is not an inconvenience, but an invitation. It is a time when the voice of heaven is clearer, when the unseen becomes visible, and when those who listen can step into something beyond their understanding. It is a mystery that once embraced can transform everything. There are moments in life when something stirs within us, something unexplainable yet undeniable. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is one of those moments. It may seem like a simple disruption of sleep, but what if it is more than that? What if it is not just your body waking up, but a divine wake-up call, a call from something greater, something unseen, something that demands your attention? When you wake up at this hour, it often feels different from any other time of the night. It is not the same as waking up at midnight or early morning. There is a stillness in the air, a silence that carries weight. Your heart beats a little differently, your mind is unexpectedly alert, and you feel something lingering in the atmosphere. It is as if you are meant to be awake, as if something beyond your understanding is reaching out to you. This is not just a random event. It is an invitation, a whisper from the heavens, a message waiting to be received. Throughout history, many have spoken of these early hours as sacred. It is during this time that deep revelations come, when prayers feel stronger, and when divine messages are delivered. In the scriptures, we see moments where people were awakened in the night for a purpose. Samuel heard the voice of God calling his name while he lay in bed. Elijah received divine instruction in the stillness of the night. Paul and Silas, imprisoned and beaten, chose to pray and sing at midnight, and the very foundations of their prison shook. These are not coincidences. When you wake up at this hour, you are being stirred for a reason. Have you ever noticed that some of the most profound thoughts come to you in these moments? Perhaps an idea, an answer to a question, or a sudden realization that you cannot ignore. You may feel a strong urge to pray, to think deeply, or to seek guidance. This is not just your mind being restless. This is something greater trying to get your attention. The world is quiet, distractions are gone, and your spirit is fully open. In these moments, heaven is speaking. But not every wake-up call feels peaceful. Sometimes you wake up with a heavy heart, an unexplainable weight on your soul. You feel an uneasiness, a stirring that you do not understand. This too is part of the call. You may be sensing a battle in the unseen, a spiritual shift that requires your awareness. This is when you are called to pray, to stand, to fight for something you may not even see. Do not ignore it. Do not roll over and go back to sleep. This is the moment to respond. A divine wake-up call is never meaningless. It is not random, not accidental. It is a summons from something greater than yourself, a moment where heaven reaches out to earth, where the unseen breaks into the visible, where you are being called into something extraordinary. There are moments in life when everything feels different, when the air is heavy with meaning, when silence speaks louder than words, and when an unseen presence lingers around you. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is one of those moments. It is a time when the physical world fades into the background and something deeper stirs within you. This is not just an ordinary hour. It is a time of heightened spiritual sensitivity, when your soul is more attuned to the unseen and the whispers of heaven can be heard more clearly. In these early hours, the distractions of the day have faded. The noise of life is silenced and the world around you is still. In this stillness, your spirit is more open, more aware, more receptive. You may find yourself waking up with an unexplainable feeling and urgency, a sense of peace, or even a heaviness that you cannot ignore. This is not mere coincidence. This is a moment when your soul is being awakened, when something beyond yourself is calling out to you. Many who have experienced this moment speak of feeling a presence in the room, as if they are not alone. Some feel a deep sense of comfort, a peace that surpasses understanding. Others wake with a burden on their heart, as if something or someone needs their prayers. These are the moments when heaven draws near, when the unseen realm is more tangible than ever. It is a time when divine messages can be received, when visions and dreams are more vivid, and when clarity is given to those who seek it. Spiritual sensitivity is a gift, but it requires a response. Too often people dismiss these moments, turning over in bed, trying to force themselves back to sleep. But when you wake up in these sacred hours, you are being given an opportunity, an invitation to listen, to pray, and to receive something greater than yourself. Those who respond to this call often find themselves stepping into deeper understanding, into divine revelations, and into moments of transformation that shape their lives forever. There is also another side to this sensitivity. Just as light moves, so does darkness. This is a time when spiritual warfare is at its peak, when battles are fought in the unseen, and when those who are spiritually aware are called to stand firm. Have you ever woken up feeling uneasy, as if something was pressing on your soul? Have you ever felt an unexplained fear, an anxiety that you cannot shake? This is not just a feeling, it is a sign. A sign that you are being called to pray, to fight, to declare truth in the midst of darkness. This is not just another hour in the night, it is a time when the veil between the physical and the spiritual is at its thinnest. Those who are willing to open their hearts to be still and to listen will find that this is not just an interruption of sleep. It is a divine moment, a sacred time, a call to step into something greater. There are battles that can be seen. And then there are battles that take place in the unseen realm, battles that shape destinies, influence lives, and determine outcomes before they ever manifest in the physical world. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is often more than just a disruption of sleep. It is a sign that something is stirring in the spiritual realm. It is during these hours that unseen forces are most active, where the forces of light and darkness clash, and where those who are spiritually aware are called to stand in the gap. This is the hour when many experience unexplained restlessness, disturbing dreams, or an overwhelming sense of unease. Some wake up feeling anxious for no reason, while others sense an invisible weight pressing upon them. These moments are not random. They are often the result of a spiritual war being waged around you. Darkness moves in silence, seeking to bring confusion, fear, and oppression. But just as darkness operates, so does divine intervention. This is the hour when angelic forces are at work, when prayers carry great power, and when breakthroughs are within reach for those who choose to rise and fight. History and Scripture reveal that some of the most powerful moments of deliverance, revelation, and supernatural encounters have taken place in these early hours. It was during the night watches that victories were secured, that chains were broken, and that divine instructions were given. In the stillness of the night, those who are sensitive to the unseen can perceive shifts taking place. Some awaken with the sudden urge to pray without understanding why, while others feel prompted to intercede for a loved one. These are not mere impulses, they are spiritual assignments given in the heat of an unseen battle. Fear often seeks to grip those who wake up in these moments, whispering that they are alone, that they are powerless against whatever is happening. But this is a deception. Those who are awakened at this hour are not being tormented, they are being summoned. Summoned to pray, to declare, to push back against the forces of opposition. It is in these moments that destinies can be realigned, that breakthroughs can be secured, and that the tide of battle can turn. There is power in knowing that these battles do not have to be fought alone. Divine help is always present, and those who call upon higher strength in these moments will find that fear flees, that peace returns, and that victory is assured. The battle may be unseen, but the effects are very real. Lives have been changed, dangers have been averted, and miracles have been released because someone woke up, recognized the urgency, and chose to fight rather than return to sleep. This is not a moment to be ignored or feared. It is a call to action, a call to step into authority, and a call to be part of something greater than what the eyes can see. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is not a random occurrence. It is a call, a moment of significance, and an opportunity to step into something greater. The question is, how will you respond? Many people dismiss these wake-up calls, rolling over and attempting to go back to sleep. But for those who understand the power of this hour, the response must be intentional. When you wake up in this sacred window, there are specific things you must do to align yourself with the purpose of your awakening. The first and most important thing you must do is pray. Not a casual whispered prayer, but a prayer of authority. This is not the time for passive words. This is the time to stand firm, to intercede, and to seek divine revelation. If you feel peace upon waking, pray for guidance. If you feel fear, pray for protection. If you feel a burden, pray for those who may be in need. There's a reason you are awake, and prayer is the key to unlocking the mystery behind it. Listening is just as important as speaking. Too often people pray but fail to listen. This is a time when divine messages are revealed, when instructions are given, and when hearts are stirred with purpose. Pay attention to the thoughts that come to you in these moments. Keep a journal by your bedside and write down anything that stands out: visions, impressions, scriptures, or even just a word that lingers in your mind. These may be answers you have been seeking, directions you need to take, or confirmations of something already placed in your heart. You must also declare truth over your life. The early hours of the morning are a battleground, and words carry immense power. Speak words of faith, words of victory, words of transformation. Declare breakthrough over situations that seem impossible. If you are facing struggle, speak life over them. If you sense darkness trying to press in, rebuke it. Your words have the power to shift atmospheres, to break chains, and to set things in motion that cannot be undone. This is also a time for spiritual warfare. If you wake up feeling an unusual heaviness, a sense of fear, or even oppression, do not ignore it. This is a sign that something unseen is at work. You are not powerless in these moments. Stand firm, pray with authority, and refuse to let fear take hold. Call upon divine protection, and know that you are not alone. Finally, embrace the moment. Instead of resisting it, lean into it. Wake up with expectation, knowing that something powerful is unfolding. This is a time when destinies are shaped, when breakthroughs are released, and when the unseen becomes visible. Those who respond with faith, with action, and with courage will find themselves stepping into a greater level of purpose, understanding, and spiritual awakening. The question is, will you rise and respond, or will you let the moment pass you by? There are moments in life when something stirs deep within, an unshakable feeling that you are meant for more. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is one of those moments. It is not an accident, not a coincidence, but a call, one that whispers to your soul, urging you to pay attention. This is the hour when destinies are shaped, when paths are revealed, and when those who are willing to listen step into something greater than themselves. The question is, will you answer the call? Destiny does not arrive with loud announcements or flashing lights. It often comes in quiet moments, in the stillness of the night, when everything around you is silent, but something inside you is wide awake. It is in these hours that deep truths are revealed, when the distractions of the world fade, and when clarity begins to take shape. You may wake up feeling restless, your mind racing with thoughts you cannot ignore. Perhaps you feel a pull towards something unknown, a stirring in your spirit that refuses to let you go back to sleep. This is the call of destiny knocking at your door, waiting for you to rise and respond. Throughout history, those who have made the greatest impact were often awakened in the night. They received visions, instructions, and revelations that changed not only their own lives, but the lives of those around them. They understood that these moments were sacred, that the hours of darkness carried the light of purpose. When you wake up at this hour, you are being invited into that same divine conversation. You are being given an opportunity to see beyond what is visible, to hear beyond what is spoken, and to step into the next chapter of your life. But destiny requires action. It is not enough to simply wake up, you must engage. Listen closely to what is stirring within you. What dreams have been buried beneath fear? What calling have you ignored? What passion have you suppressed? This is the time to reconnect with those things, to seek guidance, and to prepare for the doors that are about to open. If you ignore the call, if you dismiss these moments as nothing more than sleepless nights, you risk missing the very thing you were created for. Fear often tries to creep in at this hour, whispering that you are not ready, that you are not worthy, that you are not capable. But destiny is not about being ready, it is about being willing. Those who answer the call are not always the most qualified, the most prepared, or the most confident. They are simply the ones who say yes, who step forward in faith, who trust that they are being led towards something greater. When you wake up at this hour, know that destiny is calling. You are being awakened for a reason, summoned to something beyond yourself. The only question that remains is whether you will rise and embrace it or let the moment slip away.